Len, it's always good to talk to you. And we talked after you won the town election, and you basically won again. So congratulations again.
Well, thank you. I've been getting a lot of those double congratulations. So that's you know, I mean, it's better than an alternative.
That's exactly right. How was it during that period? You were at 4 select board meetings, and then the recount was instituted. It was a close race, so you could definitely see the justification for a recount, but had to be in the back of your mind. It's like, my God, I'm sitting here in the select board meeting. Am I going to be here next week? How did that feel?
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter, though, is that even though it seemed like a small margin, it really wasn't, because we have a lot of confidence in the optical readers. I mean, they are validated before the election. I mean, and so then it really comes down to a matter of how many ballots had to be handled by hand. I mean, and it just wasn't enough of those to change the outcome. Plus, there have been lots of recounts, and the margin has to be a lot closer than it was to really change the outcome. So it wasn't so much that I was concerned about the outcome as much as it was, how do I behave in a way that is respectful of the recount process? So there were things that I just wasn't doing, especially when it came to interacting with other people or initiating certain initiatives, a little redundant there, because I wanted to respect the process and not tell people, yeah, I'm really 100% sure nothing's going to change, so why don't we just move forward? I wanted to respect the process, so I held off on some things.
Now that it's solidified, now that you're a member of the select board, what business would you like to see done in, let's say, the next year or two with, possibly the backdrop of COVID-19 being around for quite some time?
Oh, boy. If you're going to extend the backdrop and have COVID-19 around for a long time, then it's really going to come down to what kind of federal and state support we get for our budget. We can only hope that the feds will do the right thing and support us on the local level, because we're going to need a lot of financial support to keep all the services that people really count on a day-to-day basis. And with respect to the stuff that the town funds on its own, our revenue is going to be down, primarily from the businesses that are going to have less business. So what in some cases has been seen as a detriment, meaning that we rely mostly on property taxes and have very little reliance on retail for our revenue. That is going to be a bit of a plus in this situation, because we're going to take less of a hit to our budget as a result. Now, if property values start coming down, and there doesn't seem to be any indication of that, then we would be in more trouble. But at the same time, we do have to be aware of the fact that it may very well be the case that people don't have enough income, to pay their property taxes because their employment situation has changed. And so, as a town, we'll have to be prepared to deal with that and see what we can do to help property owners that do have a hard time paying their property taxes. And so I'm laying out the problem. I'm not laying out a solution, because that's not at all apparent yet. There's certainly something that I know the long range planning committee, is thinking about. And so they can give us some guidance as to how to deal with that when it comes to the nuts and bolts. Well, that'll come down to the finance committee.
And in the middle of all this, the business must continue. I know that right now the select board is looking at the boutique hotel along Mass Ave and the proposed possibly up to 140 apartment units on the MIRAC property. What are your thoughts, and what can you tell us about that in the preliminary stages of both major projects here?
Well, I actually know a little bit more about the MIRAC one, and I'll tell you, one of the concerns that's really come up on that one is the loss of studio space for artists, and so there are 16 studios that are going by the wayside on that one, and it's also indicative of just the struggle that artists are having in the region in general. And so I am doing some work with Adria Arch from ACAC and some other representatives from that group. I think trying to help artists is a great thing in general. First, I think artists could use support because they are an important voice in the community and can help the community process. Issues large and small, but also, they tend to be low income. And so by providing space for them and opportunity, we can help people with lower incomes. And if we target well, we try to bring in outside artists. We can help maybe bring in some diverse voices, some alternative voices, and help them get to see what Arlington has to offer, but also get some insights from them as to how they feel about Arlington. So I think it can be something that works in multiple ways for the community and the region.
I hear you. Well, Len, again, congratulations again for winning again to the select board. We look forward to you being part of the community in a big way, and we look forward to talking to you in the future about any things that may crop up.
Yeah, sure. And I hope you don't get eaten. You look like some big insect's going to come.
I'm waiting for some big ant to come, from behind me, and then you're going to hear me scream. And it's never pretty, Len. It's never pretty.
Okay. All right.
Good to see you, my friend. And just take it easy, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.